Hello, everyone, and welcome to this month's Veeam 100 Show. My name is Safia Mohammed, and I'm a community manager here at Veeam. Today, I am joined by Jorge, Khaled, and Jonah for a special edition of the Veeam 100 Show. We're talking all things Veeam Community Hackathon. How is everyone doing today?
Very nice.
Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back to the show. Our group today is joining from the US, UK, and Germany. We want to keep the chat lively, so if you're tuning in live, please let us know in the comments where you are joining us from today. We'll be sure to shout it out throughout the show. Jonah, Jorge, and Khaled, like I mentioned, welcome back. It's good to have you all back on the show. You've been a part of the Veeam Community Hackathon editions before, but for those that are meeting you just for the first time, can you give us an introduction of who you are, your role, and your involvement with the Veeam community? Let's start maybe with Jorge, my fellow Veeamer.
No, thank you. Thank you, Sophia. Yeah, my name is Jorge de la Cruz. I'm Senior Director here of Product Management. Been working at Veeam over 8 years. It's going to be 9 in March next year. Yeah, you might know me from previous videos, and as well, I'm just managing Veeam One is one of the initiatives I'm managing. Veeam Intelligence as well, the AI part that you can find in VBR, VSPC, and Veeam One. And now we are as well putting a lot of effort into this new intelligent REST ops as well. So I'm just contributing over there. So yeah, over to Khaled.
Okay. Yeah, my name is Khaled Mohammed Fathala. I'm a consultant, infrastructure consultant in Germany for another company but Veeam. But yeah, in the community, I'm currently a Veeam legend, and I'm a VOG leader for the cybersecurity hub. So yeah.
Awesome. Jonah?
Hi, guys. I'm Jonah. I am a product architect and engineering manager at a Veeam Platinum partner, and I've worked at that partner and another Veeam Platinum partner for around as long as Jorge's been at Veeam, I think. Because, yeah, it's 8 or 9 years at this point. In the community, I'm a Veeam Vanguard, an Object First Ace, as well as a Veeam user group leader for the automation desk and the local Texas region. And as part of my duties as automation desk leader, I helped co-found the Veeam Community Hackathon, which we'll be talking a little bit about throughout this presentation.
Yes, we will. I like to set the tone for every show and just do a brief introduction of what the Veeam 100 show is for those that are just joining us for the first time. So if this is your first time joining us or you haven't been here in a while, the Veeam 100 show is a community-driven show that we host monthly on all Veeam socials. We invite our members of the Veeam 100 community. Those are the top technical evangelists from our community programs, our legends, our vanguards, our Veeam MVPs, to showcase a project that they are passionate about sharing with the wider community. And as I mentioned, this episode is a special edition because we're talking about the winning project from the Veeam Community Hackathon last year. We have 2 members, Jorge and Khaled, who will be talking as representatives from the winning team, and Jonah talking on behalf of the co-founders and talking about all things Veeam Community Hackathon and how you can get involved throughout the show. Jonah, before we dive into the project, people might be joining us and not knowing what a hackathon is. They might be hearing that word for the first time, or they might have heard it previously, but have no idea what a hackathon is. So before we dive into the project, can you let us know what is a hackathon? You don't have to be specific to the Veeam Community Hackathon, but in general, what is a hackathon? What does it consist of? Give us all the information.
So most people think hackathon like, oh, I'm a computer hacker, I'm going to write code. That's true for some hackathons. A lot of it, the focus is on the project specifically. In this case, it is and it isn't. So we like to say that we use the other meaning of hack with the Veeam Community Hackathon, that being you're coming together and collaborating as a team to hack something together, to jury rig or code or design. And there's presentation processes in this as well, as you'll see, because clearly the team one here, our winning team, is going to be presenting their project. And so really the Veeam Community Hackathon specifically, I'll touch on this a little bit more at the end, is for everyone, not just for programmers.
Absolutely. Okay, I want to give a lot of time for our presentation, the winning team, to discuss, and we're going to dive in more of what the Veeam Community Hackathon is and how you can get involved for the 4th edition this year. We want to keep the chat lively, so please, this is a live show. If you have any questions or comments, put them in the chat and we'll be calling them out during the session. Everyone else, I'll give it to you for discussing the project.
All right,
Okay, cool.
we've gone through our introductions. Why don't you guys tell us about, I guess, start with who all was on your team, since not all of you could make it onto the live stream today.
Yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't enough space on the screen for all of us to get into the call. So yeah, our team, we were 6 people in the team. It was Lukas Klostermann, who is an ex-Vanguard and now Veeam employee, and maybe he will join the Veeam 100 again. Who knows? Then we have Markus Kraus, and another guy from the community, who is not holding a title currently. Then we had myself. We had another Markus Hartmann, who is a Vanguard in the community, and Jorge, who is here with us, and Marcel Kaczma, who is also a Veeam legend in the Veeam community in the moment.
So what was y'all's vision and plan going into your project?
The vision was like after a little like thinking and not knowing what to do in the beginning, we came up with the idea to build a global web UI, like for multiple Veeam products, so that you have like a single pane of glass to see your infrastructure in just in one view. Yeah.
Speaking of which, so what sort of things did you then end up building into this when you designed it?
So
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. As a general features, we the time was very limited, as you know, on the hackathons, right? We couldn't build everything that we wanted, but we set up at least a good tone on what to focus on. So we wanted to be real-time monitoring, automatic, 30 seconds data refresh. We wanted as well to include the unified global search, so you could just search by any job that you might have, in case that you have hundreds. So you could just introduce the job and it will appear over there. Dark and light theme as well, right? Very modern, but at the same time, for all of us that we spend a lot of time in front of the UI, we wanted to just enable the toggle on that. Fully responsive design, right? So for desktop and mobile devices, we use the latest technologies, SAT-CN and Node.js and Next.js, etc. So we could deliver a great experience that it was fully responsive, or at least that it could fit more or less on any device. We build, and well, this was a lot of backend done by Markus, to secure server side with API proxy, protecting the credentials. And we introduce as well, like you could deploy this natively, directly cloning the GitHub repository and starting it pretty much, or as well as a container-ready deployment in case that you have already Docker or Kubernetes. You can just deploy this very easily as a container. So that was one thing that we could squeeze within these a few days of hackathon. And having, of course, interactive charts, that was part of the plan. Dashboard view, and as well jobs management, details, managed servers, security monitoring. We are going to see all of those, but we really wanted to focus on at least the basics, right? So the licensing, showing the license information, showing the security best practices that are very important on the BBR. We show them there in a very nice chart and with a summary. Managed servers, so we could add, we could see what was the managed servers and perhaps even add more. And the job details, you will see that in a minute, but we went above and beyond to kind of expanding on the job details and the job management. So you could start, stop them, and do the basic day 2 operations. And we put the cherry on top with a very nice dashboard per BBR and dashboard for 365 as well. Yep, smooth. So yeah, I will pass it to Charlie for a quick console sneak preview on the images at least.
Yeah, this is just like this is how the console looked like in the end of the hackathon, and this is like when we finished the hackathon and for the final presentation, and yeah, as you see, we've got some pretty clean dashboards and everything. But I think now in the next step, Jorge, let's say the thing evolved a little bit, and Jorge was still working on it, so it might look a bit different now. But yeah, Jorge.
Yeah, well, and this was all pre-intelligent ResOps too, wasn't it? If I remember correctly.
Yeah,
I think you guys were working on this right around the time the security AI acquisition news came out.
Yes. But this is very important as well, right? Because of course we build this using the community resources, all of us. It wasn't like Jorge is the Veeam employee. No, we just always on these hackathons. We are always kind of like a community members trying to come with creative projects. And this local, because this is very important as well, right? This is a local console that you just deploy and it interacts with the APIs of the products. It doesn't have any database or anything, right? So yeah, the project is a bit more different than what intelligent resource is going to be, like again with database on the cloud and so on, right? This is more just to running it on premises without internet access and so on and so forth, right? And based on the APIs, which was the beauty. Yes, so one thing that I wanted to mention is like we finished the project, we delivered the project on the hackathon, and we let the judges, take compare against the other projects that they were very nice. But then I decided like, okay, I think this was a good starting point. Let's keep expanding it with the other ideas, other features that they didn't we didn't have time to introduce for the sake of time. And so I was taking feedback from the community and some ideas that I had for some time, and then we expanded this hackathon project. I forked it. I let that project in the initial project into the of course into the page of the hackathon, immutable, so everyone can see what we did until that moment. And then I forked that work into another open source project, which is the Open Backup UI that again it born with this community. So I think we're ready to start doing the demo. So yeah, I'm going to start sharing.
Well, Jorge is setting up. Thank you to everyone for chiming in the audience. I see we have a global audience today, people from Australia, South Africa, Germany, India, the US, and more. So thank you for chiming in into the chat. And as a reminder, this is a live show. So if you have any questions or comments to anyone today, let us know. But Jorge, I'll give the floor to you for the demo.
Perfect. Very nice. Yeah. Everyone can see the screen. It's all good and nice. Okay, very nice. So yeah, I wanted so we evolved the project into this Open Backup UI. The Open Backup UI, it starts with this connect page, and in this connect page you can add your data sources. At the moment there is no like multi PPR or anything, so that is again major differentiator against commercial products like a Veeam or Enterprise Manager or Intelligent ResOps and whatnot, right? This just goes, you can add one Veeam, you can add one Veeam Backup and Replication, one VRO, one 365 and whatnot, right? So you can just go over here, and then it's very simple. You just select them and custom as well, by the way. You just select them over here, and you add your credentials, and that's it, right? So at the time of adding it, you will click connect, and then it just takes you to the final UI. So it's pretty much like a mini onboarding, if you wanted to say it. And here's a few images of a few of the capabilities, right? So let me go into continue to the dashboard. And this is the UI, which again, it evolved from the hackathon project. Let's give it some time, because this is very important. This project does not have database. I mentioned that before. Let me kind of like strengthen it again. It doesn't have any database. Everything that you click here, it just makes a live query to the VBR 365 Orchestrator or Veeam, and it retrieves data from the API. So it's real data, and it's kind of like a wrapper on top of those projects, if you may. So okay, so if I go here, let me move this out of the way, maybe. We have the toggle here, so we can toggle between dark and colorful. We have themes as well here on the branding. So you can just change quickly among the Veeam Sunrise, Underground, Rose Garden, blah blah blah. There is many themes here. You can change as well the name of the sections over here and whatnot. It's very nice and very kind of like you can make it very yours. But let's quickly touch, just for the sake of time, on the feature. So this is the main dashboard, and as a part of the main dashboard, we have the total jobs, 0 active now, the VBR server we are connecting with the version. By the way, this is working even with version 13.1, which is very good to see. License usage at the moment, the malware events, as I mentioned, the security score is here. This is based on the best practices, and then a few things that I, as a customer, and as a user for a long time, I wanted to see how much space my backups are taking, across all of the jobs. And I found that there is a way, right? A very primitive way, but there is a way that you just look at all of the backups and restore points that you have on all the repositories, and then you just combine and do the basic sum across all of the restore points, and that is what you can see over here. So at the moment I have 12 terabytes on total. On the backup repositories, that is of course already compressed, the dupe and whatnot. The original source data, it was 60 terabytes. So that is always good to see this and the duplication and the compression ratio. So that is very, very nice. On the sessions overview, I can quickly see here all of the sessions that it has been happening on time. And then it's filtered already by backup job, but I can as well add some others here, like the SQL log backup. Whatever you are interested in, you can just filter them here, and they will appear over there. And you can just change as well between last 7 days, last 30 days, and even export these filters that you have. Like, hey, show me only the failed. This is another thing I really like it, right? That you can see the fail and the warning and success before you even click on them. So you can perform a very, informed decision before you click on anything. Okay, let me show me my 101 fail. You click, and then now it's 101 failed sessions that I'm seeing. So I don't need to export into CSV and then check there how many they are. Although they say it here at the bottom, but the filtering, the number on the filters, that was very, very good. If we move from the dashboard, I wanted to show you the jobs and policies, because on the jobs and policies, we put a lot of work as well, and the type is here with a great summary before I click on how many of each type it is, the last result and whatnot. Let me click into one of them. Let's click on this one, for example. So if I click, I'm going to make this a bit smaller with the zoom of the browser, because I'm in a very limited resolution. But then, you can start the job, stop, retry, and whatnot. Let me just look into what is happening here. So when you click on the job, it's going to take you inside the job. Let's see. Remember, all of this is real-time API. So, okay, I've been running a few times. I've been updating my VBR server, so I don't have much historical over here. Maybe if I go into the last 30 days, let's see what happens. Another API call. Oh, there you go. Another API call in real time. And you can see in every session, when I click on the session, I can see the protected objects inside, right? So that was 2 VMs. And the rate and the duration and whatnot, right? Per every backup, both of them there were warning. So that's great. That's how you see. And by the way, you can just start, stop, retry the job from here, because I'm just seeing the job sessions over here. Let me quickly check on time. Yeah, we're good. And then another thing that I really like it was the protected data. So on the protected data, that today current product, it just shows the protected data, the backup chains. I thought, I think it could be a better idea if we just show the workloads natively without the chains, because at that point of restoring data, you are more interested into the protected data itself. So on here, you can see all of the list of protected workloads that you have. You can switch among a hex map as well, which, by the way, this goes in combination with the previous hackathon. On the previous hackathon, we built something similar to this already, like on the hexagon. And I really like that you can just quickly introduce the RPO and play with it. Let me show you. You see, it's looking like a bit of the war games in the movie. It's very nice. It's just you're toggling in real time what you are in RPO over the last 24 hours. And if I click into this item, for example, it's a VM. Okay, show me the details of this VM, of the protected VM. And then now is when we go to the backup chains, the restore points, and whatnot, right? But before, I just wanted to focus on the protected workloads, and now you can see here a little bit of information about the latest restore point and whatnot. The storage that is taking, by the way, is looking as well on VMware environment, so I can even see some information, sneak peek into the workload details from VMware. This information is coming directly from VMware, directly through the VBR API information that it has this data about the VM. It's very nice. Okay, I'm checking on time, and the restore points here with all level of details. Another great thing is like you see this as a human, and you might think, oh, this is great, but maybe you might think this is too much, or you can not, comprehend really well the dates because the same as me, you are in too much work that you don't know even the day you're living. So we added a calendar view where you can see as well the restore points and when they were created. And it's a pity I don't have the VB365 added, the 365, because if you have multiple restore points within a day, you will see them here and you can expand them and whatnot. That is a very nice addition. But yeah, at the moment I don't have it here on by week. Yeah, you see there at the bottom and whatnot, right? So it is I think it's pretty self-explanatory, but I really like the toggles between regular data and more visual data. Okay, now if I wanted to show you as well the global search that was part of the initial. So if you just go here and search by, once again, like DNS, is now looking for the jobs and for the workloads, so you can quickly decide on where do you want to go. You want to go into the job or into the VMware? Let's click here. Oh, it's taking me to the same VM, of course. So let me show you another peek before I stop sharing, right? So on the virtual infrastructure, you can see the VMware environment through the Veeam backup and replication. You can have the little nuggets as is protected or is not protected, is it running and whatnot. You can filter on here. Hey, show me all the ones that are stopped. Is it protected or not? And directly from here, you can just go and click into the back into the object and whatnot, right? So I really like it that. And last, before I just stop it, the backup infrastructure, you can just get all your proxies over here, and you can see as well the repositories in a very nice visual way of like the capacity, the usage in a bar itself, right? Because okay, when you see gigabytes combined with terabytes and whatnot, it's not easy sometimes to comprehend. Okay, how much is this in a total? Just show me a percentage visually. So that's another sneak peek from here. Finally, I don't have 365, but it's pretty similar. And I think I can show you Veeam 1, maybe the alarms overview. If I click into the alarms overview, let's see if it loads from there. It may not be loading. I can see issues here coming. So, well, I will. It's live, right? So welcome to the live. Oh, it's here. So alarms overview. This is pulling the information directly from Veeam 1. And that was the beauty of the project. All of the things we are connecting directly and consuming API, just showing it a bit differently. So, yeah. We've been doing a lot of little things on the licensing information, for example. You can see here all of the license items, and you can just go and revoke the items from here quickly. So you go here and then revoke these servers with one click, which I found very, very useful. Install, generate the report and whatnot. Under the data sources is the same as you had into the connect page. So you can add more from here. At the moment, no multi-VBR. Let's see what happens in the future. Branding, I already showed you. You can just force things and change little things. Telemetry, I added this just in case that just to understand how people are using this project. But you can always go out there and disable it. We're not collecting any credentials or personal info, just where people are clicking and how they use the tool. And finally, on the identity, you can see the users from VBR that they are there. And at the moment, I have just one. Change as well to enforce the MFA and whatnot, and the roles as well that these users have. These are coming directly from the VBR. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this. The project is free. The project is on GitHub, and you can just go there and download it and connect to your VBRs, including 13.1, and and start benefiting from this. So I'll pass it now to the team, to Jonah and team for the next slides.
Amazing. Yeah, we got a comment from Mateus, Veeam Vanguard from Brazil. He said, "What an amazing dashboard, Jorge." So, and even Jeffrey from production also chimed in with, "It looked really cool." So, awesome stuff.
Thank you.
Yep, and then I think we were going to open the floor just to give a minute for any questions anyone had.
Yeah, and to be mindful of time, Jonah, would you like to start discussing the Veeam Community Hackathon while we're waiting for any additional questions to come up? Oh, well, we did just get a question from Jeffrey. How long did it take for you to design? So I guess everything that you just showed off in the demo, how long did it take?
So I mean, we did a lot of ideation on the hackathon, at least for the foundation of that. And it took us a few days between discussing, hey, let's do this, let's do that, and whatnot. Let's show this more or less like this. For the rest of the features that I've been adding into the Open Backup UI, you can see the releases itself of the project. I don't know. I always do this when I have some times here and there on the evenings and nights. So if I think on a good idea, I just nowadays we use AI, right? So I was using for all of this project, I did use a lot of anti-gravity. Claude at that point it wasn't that good. Now maybe if you put this into Claude code, maybe this will be a bit faster. So it didn't take long, especially because we did use SATCN, which is a very common UA library already, that it has many of the patterns already resolved. So I don't know, just a few weeks if you put it all together. Yeah, give it a take.
And we also got a comment from Jesus saying this is very cool. Looking forward to testing it out.
Awesome.
Yeah, let us know if you do. Jonah, do you want to dive in, since we have a few minutes left, to talking about how people can do their own project, just like Jorge and Khaled just showed off in this year's hackathon? Tell us all about it.
Sure. We have the 4th annual Veeam Community Hackathon coming up this October. What we call implementation period is October 12th to 16th. So if you're interested in signing up, building something cool, maybe helping design, maybe not ending up on a team with some of these cool folks who built the project you just saw, you can go to veeamhackathon.com/sign up or scan the QR code on the screen now through September 30th to register to participate. And
Jonah,
again, you do not need to be a coder.
Yeah,
there's presentations to judges, and there's this whole rubric I could get into if we had more time, where it's not just the project itself, but how innovative is the project? Has there been any market research done? Like, if you were an actual company building a solution, for example, on top of Veeam, would this be a viable solution in the market that provides benefit to users? So there's a lot of things going in there too, of project management, marketing, even sales to an extent with the presentation.
Yeah, anyone is welcome from all skill sets. And
anyone is welcome.
You and Maurice, the other co-founder of the hackathon, have been working on this entire series on the Community Hub through Automation Desk, which is a page, if you are unfamiliar, on the Automation Desk, focusing on automation, obviously. And you've been working on this monthly webinar. Can you tell us a little bit about it and how it connects to this year's hackathon?
Yeah, and actually, I think we've got 2 series going on right now. So we've got Automation 101, which is us trying to build a quick little playlist of, what are some of the do's and don'ts of creating a project like this. For example, we did, instead of a webinar in April, I think we did a 2-part series on the Community Hub around kind of the do's and don'ts of open source licensing and tracking your dependencies to make sure that you're compliant across different open source licenses when developing a project. And, I think we've got one coming up in the next month or two that has to do with kind of the do's and don'ts of AI coding tools. What are some good tools out there like Claude or Anti-Gravity? When do you use it for planning versus writing versus code review? Where do some of the models excel in some of those areas versus others? And then we've also got the Automation Desk Spotlight, if I'm remembering that name correctly, which is kind of like what you're seeing here today with the Veeam 100 show. We're taking some of the cool projects we've seen out there in the community, either that Maurice and I have written in some of our free time or other community members like Jorge or others have worked on. And we've been kind of giving them a spotlight and showing them off in various live streams. So Jorge, I think we've had you on for Grafana dashboards. We've talked and shown off some of the projects that Maurice and I have built around building some Python SDKs for some of these APIs and some Home Assistant integrations. And I think we're also in discussion with some other community members to show off some of the things like the Veeam as-built reports, pending people's availability to join us on streams.
Awesome. You can find it all community.veeam.com. There's a lot of resources. So even if you are considering like, hey, maybe I don't know that much to participate in a hackathon, you already do, no matter what your skill set is. But if you do want to, up your skills in any of those related topics, then Jonah and Maurice have a ton of content already prepared and some coming for you to dive into. Khaled and Jorge, I want to ask you, you've kept coming back. You've been in the community hackathon multiple times. Do you have any words of wisdom, any insight to take us through the end of the show? Anything for somebody who is debating on participating?
Let's do it. I mean, it's a lot of fun, and I'm not a coder. Like, I have no idea in coding. So yeah, it's cool.
I will say the same. I will say the same as Charlie, right? So yes, join. You will get to know many, great community folks there. It doesn't matter if you are not a coder anymore. We have AI nowadays. It's just go there, share your idea, or build it, or just coordinate it. There is many things to do during the hackathon, but the most important thing is just to spend time with community folks. And just see the result after a few days. That was pretty nice. No matter the result, right? Just seeing that between completely strangers, you come into releasing something that's always very nice.
Thank you, Jonah. Anything from your side as the co-founder? Any words of wisdom to end us off?
Yeah, bring your ideas. I mean, we've seen it all. We see dashboards like this. We've seen some security and auditing tools. We've seen, I think there was one year that it was a mix of Kasten and Kubernetes, and it had to do with making deployments into Kubernetes clusters easy by providing some user interfaces and templates. It's
last year.
Every year is different. Every team comes up with different ideas. It's even interesting because some years teams come up with similar solutions, but take two completely different approaches to get there. Like Jorge talked about doing the hex backup last year. I think you guys did that, and we had another team that did a mobile app using Veeam Service Provider Console, and they were similar things, but completely different results at the end.
Yes.
Just join us. I think that's the overall takeaway from all three of these guys. Join the hackathon. There's nothing to lose, and there's so much to gain. Friends, knowledge, all the things. So definitely make sure to sign up now. Signups are open until September 30th. So no need to sign up today. You have a lot of time. And if you have any questions, all of us are always available to answer. I do want to thank all three of you for joining because we are reaching the end of the show, for joining us again. Maybe we'll see you next year for another hackathon edition of the Veeam 100 show. I want to thank Jeffrey and Raluca on production for keeping the show going. Thank you to our audience for tuning in. We will be back next month for another Veeam 100 show. Until then, you can always find us on the Veeam Community Hub. That is community.veeam.com. We'll see everyone next time. Thank you all.